This is ST Modular's hi-hat. This video is going to be all about how I built it. It's a time lapse of me putting it together with a voiceover. Overall, it was a pretty easy build. There were a couple of things that gave me some small problems that I just want to highlight for newer builders. I'm going to do a completely separate video that shows off what it sounds like and with it in my system. So I'll put a link to that up in the corner when I'm finished with it. But for right now, let's take a look at how I put this thing together. So this was the first build that I did that wasn't from a kit. I ordered all of these parts separately. The PCB and the panel came from Calsynth. It took me a while to figure out what I needed, but ultimately I figured it out using the BOM from the ST Modular site. From the Github, I'll put a link in the description. I'll also put links to all the parts that I ordered. I ordered from Amplified Parts, but you can get this stuff pretty much anywhere. And this is pretty much all you need to get started. So right away, this was my first mistake, the very first thing that I soldered, and I didn't notice it till later. But when I was putting on this LED, I put it all the way up to the PCB. Now, once everything gets installed, I realized that LED will not go through the front panel because of the way the knobs were placed. So I fixed that later. This is the second thing. It didn't give me a problem, but I was a little bit confused at first as to how to put this power source in. You can't buy... It comes in 2 rows. One row has 5 and one row has 3, and you can't buy those individually. And I looked all over for them. You can't buy them. So I asked around on some forums and got some great help that you can buy these breakaway ones and just break it off to suit your needs. So once I got that information, it was pretty straightforward and I had no issues soldering any of these. So from this point, I put everything on and attached the front panel just so that everything lined up. So I'm putting the jacks on now. This is the knob for the CV attenuation. I had a hard time getting this one in, but it's pretty straightforward. You just got to kind of bend things and just get it in. It's the color and the decay knobs at the top. So from here you can put the panel on, and this is when I realized that that LED does not stick up through because the panel was raised off the PCB. I decided, since everything was already kind of sitting in place, that I was going to attach the front panel and solder everything and deal with the LED after. I'm fairly new to DIY stuff, so I found this kind of hard to balance. I need to get one of those holder things. Every time I solder, I always wish I had a third hand. And this is definitely one of those situations where it just kept falling. But overall, I didn't run into any issues with this. Now I'm attaching the jacks. And there we go. So now I have to take off the front panel and deal with that LED problem, which basically means I have to take it off and put a new one on, which I found to be extremely difficult. I'm still figuring out how to desolder things. I tried desoldering wick and my little pump there, you can see down at the bottom. Eventually, I just had to take some pliers and crush the LED and heat it up as I was pulling it out, and it came out. I used the pump to clear the holes so that I could get the new LED in. And so for this time around, I knew it had to be raised a little bit. So before I bent the back ends, I put the front panel on, pushed it up through, then bent the back end so it would stay raised up a little bit. And then I soldered it in place. And now's the fun part, adding the knobs. There you go. That easy. So that is how you put together the ST Modular's hi-hat. I'll release a video soon with demonstrating what it sounds like. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.